G'day chaps and welcome to Stellaris. What can I say? This is pretty good. It's more than pretty good. It's really good. I have spent maybe 3-4 hours learning how to play it. And I already know that it's quite a special game. And I'm going to try and take you through it as best I can. I'll explain what I can, I'll explain what I'm doing, but understand as well that my time is pretty short, pretty limited, because I've been working on a house today, the new house that we have, and either you'll have seen a video about this already, or you'll be seeing one really shortly.
The budget tab tallies our input.
But yeah. This is a shame. I've got this text field that I got by pressing the start record button. Fortunately, it's been set by default to the start record button in DX Story. But anyway, let's not get too distracted. I really want to tell you what's going on in this game. So this is my first game. This is my tutorial. And as you can see here, this area here, this is our part of space. We have this empire to the left and just above us. We have the empire to the right, and so on and so forth. This is the entire galaxy, and all these warnings here, these are hostile systems. Now, what you can do is you can, well, because we've sent exploration ships into these systems, you can click in, you can see the planets. However, we haven't been able to explore these planets yet. This text box, by the way, I can't get rid of without stopping the record on the footage on DX Story. So we're going to kind of live with this just for the moment. I'll take you through what I know about the game. Alright, let's start with the very, very basics. So when we started out, we had Sol. We just had this single planet. This is my first playthrough, by the way. So we had this single planet, that was it. You have your governor, you have your surface tiles. Now on your surface tiles you can build whatever you like, but basically you just have these three resources. You have energy, you have minerals, and you have influence. Energy is essentially like cash. You can trade this with other civilizations. The same with minerals. Minerals are more important for building though, so I have quite often, and I will do again, I've traded energy credits, so it's basically just credits, understand it as credits, with minerals. So I've bought minerals before. And then influence is something that you get kind of passively, more passively. And then on your actual planet, if you look down here on the surface, you have these surface tiles. You can build and grow various things. And if you have a food surplus, as you can see here, and it took me a little while to realize this, I got it wrong. I had starvation for quite a long time on my home planet, but I have now sorted that out by moving some of my population around and building something else. If you have a population surplus, then you will gain, oops, excuse me, let me go back to that. If you have a population surplus, then you will start growing these extra population tiles like you see here. And eventually you can come to control the entire area. So you have slums and industrial wasteland. You can clear these areas and make your planet as efficient and productive as it possibly could be. But to do that, you have to have a food surplus. So that's something that I realized after a little while. What else do you have? You have research. You have research physics, research society, and engineering. So if I bring up the technology tab, you can see here you have 3 different kinds of researchers. And these are actual people in the game. They age, they gain skills, and they die. And you have to replace them. And you only have a certain number of researchers or leaders that you can have in the game. So it kind of makes you kind of think about where your priorities are. So you also have your military fleet. We have 10 ships in this. It's led by our commander, our admiral rather. And then you have various science ships. Science ships are very, very important. So if I just go to our science ship, there's our science ship. There she is. Science ships are extremely important because if we zoom back out to the galaxy map here, all of the systems with a white name, with the name in white like that, that means that the system has been fully explored. So here, for example, if I go science ship and I go to a system we haven't explored, you can survey the system. And if you have completed the survey in the system becomes white. And then if you click into it, like this, you're able to see that, well, you're able to see each planet and the resources they have available and what they are worth to you, essentially. You can also see whether they're colonizable. And at the moment in my game I'm looking for more colonizable worlds. So I'm looking to expand. So let's have a look at our game here. On the left we have the Myth-Fel Star Coalition. And if we look at these guys, you have contacts at the top here. Myth-Fel Star Coalition, here we are. Now these guys are hegemonic, if you're going to pronounce it that way, hegemonic imperialists, and they consider themselves therefore the rightful rulers of the galaxy and will attempt to expand their empire by any means possible. So I'm very wary of these people. I'm very, very careful about these people indeed. So I am making sure that basically we try to expand faster than they do. We are at peace with these people. They, as you can see here, they have a very good opinion of us. They're happy with us. They're not likely to go to war with us. However, I don't trust them. On the right side of us, however, we have the Silimi, or however you pronounce it, hegemony, and these guys. These guys are a fungal people, believe it or not. So they're actually fungus, which I think is absolutely fantastic. But they adore us, and we have an alliance, we have a trade deal, and we have an embassy. So we are best buddies, BFFs. And I have joined that alliance. They offered that alliance. I joined that alliance because I'm kind of worried about these people to my left. So with these people to the left, they've also set up a colony to the north, which is kind of blocking my expansion. So I've just built these new colony ships. I have one that's already been built and another in production, and I'm looking to expand to the south of us, basically. So I'm looking for some kind of colonizable planet where we can send our ship and set up a new colony. Unfortunately, the game as it stands does not have any kind of way of filtering lists for purely colonizable planets, and it's kind of a shame, because you have to either remember which planets you can colonize, or, well, no, that's the only way right now. There is no or. You have to basically remember which planets you can colonize. So this one, for example, here, Sakis number 2. This one is toxic. There is absolutely no chance we can colonize it. And the same with that one. This one's barren also. So you see habitability here is 0. However, I think it was Sadar, was it? If we can... no, not that one. So if we do find a planet, which is... here we go. So this one is continental. And, yeah. A rocky world with a nitrogen-oxygen atmosphere, active and stable hydrosphere. Great land masses are separated by oceans with large climate variations depending on latitude and precipitation. Habitability 85%. And maximum planet size, so this is the tile size that we saw earlier, is 21. So this is very much colonizable. This should be... we cannot colonize this world. Okay, I'm wrong. Our current stance on Xeno influence prohibits us from colonizing this world. I don't understand what that means yet, and it's rather unfortunate. It's kind of a pain in the ass because I'm really looking to colonize somewhere, but I can't find somewhere that is colonizable. I really want to set up a colony, but it's pretty tricky, to be honest. Even this ocean world would do. So either way, here's my colony ship. Let's have a look at her. There's our colony ship. There she is. Right now that's in Obnol. That's a system I really wanted to take over, but I can't because there's no planet that's suitable for colonization. So if you look, this one's tundra, this one's molten, this one's a gas giant, this one's barren, another gas giant, and so on and so forth. So we're really not finding what we need, and as I said, unfortunately there is no way to short list or quickly search for planets that you can colonize. So I'm going to send my colony ship here, and I'm going to see if I can colonize it. There was some message about not being able to, but I'm not going to pay too much attention to that right now. The other way you can take control of a system is to set up a... so here we are, here's our construction ship. It's to build a frontier outpost. And frontier outposts, it takes various number of minerals, which we have 200 odd. And it also takes influence, however we don't have any influence. So even though we have this colony ship here, cannot unfortunately build our frontier outpost just as yet. That takes 200 influence, and just so you know, 200 influence is actually really quite a lot. So building that frontier outpost is essentially the same as building a colony on a world. It means that you expand your area of space, that becomes yours, and all planets around that area. So for example here we have Vishnu, and Vishnu has a governor, and we have these various surface areas, and our population is growing. We have a food surplus of 3, which means our population is growing here, as you can see. This pop is still growing. It will not produce any output before it is fully grown, but it will soon be fully grown. And then we can expand into other tiles and keep on growing our population. The other thing we can do here is build a spaceport. Now the spaceport is kind of the center of your empire, really. So if we go back and we take a look at Sol really quickly. So here is Earth. This is our home world, and Earth when you start the game, you start with a spaceport, and this spaceport is where you build all of your ships: corvette, construction ships, science ships, spaceport upgrades. We haven't done that yet, and colony ships. Without a spaceport, you are buggered. But spaceports, of course, are very expensive. So in this case, it's 360 minerals. Minerals, again, as I said, these are the main cost of building. As it says here, constructing a spaceport in orbit around this planet will allow the production of spaceships and other interplanetary craft. It will also act as an anchor for our empire within this system, providing basic defenses and communications. The spaceport can be further focused towards production, defense, or utility as it grows. So yeah, as you can see, we have a very much a fledgling civilization, and there is no way of telling if or in what direction we will survive or how we'll survive. We're pretty much kind of squished in the middle of these other civilizations, and we're just going to have to deal with it as we can. So very much like Europa Universalis 4, in that you kind of start out in a random location if you start with a random nation, and you kind of have to just deal with the other powers around you as it happens. But let me just conclude very quickly. Stellaris, fantastic, absolutely fantastic. It's very deep, so I'm still learning the game. I've just tried to give you a very quick overview of kind of where you are in terms of how you'll be once you've been playing for 3-4 hours like I have. I'm still learning the game. I'm not going to pretend I'm the best at the game yet, but I can already tell that it's very much worth playing, and lots of people are talking about this game, and for very good reason. Well, I'm going to take a little break now, and I will get back to you with episode 2. Hope you've enjoyed this little look at Stellaris, and I will see you in the next one. Ciao for now, boys.